If you look at today's IT landscape, industry analysts like Gartner, IDC, and others have really identified 4 pillars, really trends and changes, significant changes within the IT landscape for software. And this is not specific necessarily to the pharma industry. If you look outside pharma and you understand companies like Salesforce and others, cloud-hosted providers, they're all being driven by these kinds of changes where the use of the cloud and the ability to adopt cloud-based solutions is front and center. Right? And the rationale for the cloud is that it provides companies business agility. They can quickly get started with cloud solutions. Ultimately, it's cost less, right? It's easier to manage. There's no total cost of ownership associated with cloud-based solutions. Another trend is associated with social communication, right? The idea that our workforce today is very much plugged into a social fabric, used to things like Twitter and Facebook, and the idea that I can get information very readily and very, very rapidly through social type paradigms. And so you're seeing that most social or cloud companies provide a social capability where I can understand, I can get feeds and notifications. Another is the idea that I may need to get information anytime, anywhere, right? So I may be offline, but the ability for me to understand what's going on in my project, I may need to see that information from a manager or an executive, and I'd like to understand project status. So I can get information from my mobile device. It could be a phone, it could be a tablet. Again, I could be anywhere at that time. And then the last is the amount of data being gathered and associated with projects is significant. Not just the compound and biologic data, the biology data. As we go forward, there's imaging data, there's translational data and next-gen sequencing data, tremendous amounts of data that need to be managed, and then ultimately you need to provide an environment where that data can be analyzed and we can make decisions associated with that type of data. And so the whole idea of large amounts of data, big data, and analytics is also front and center. So the idea with ScienceCloud a year ago was that we wanted to be very aware of these trends and build ScienceCloud with these endpoints in mind. So ScienceCloud, as you're obviously aware, is hosted securely in the cloud. I think for the first time, it really introduces social communication for scientific research. And so you'll see as we get to a demo later on that the idea that I can characterize my scientific workflows and my processes in a very social way and exchange information socially that's scientifically aware and has scientific context is an important part of the ScienceCloud framework. From the outset, ScienceCloud has supported mobile devices, so you can access information from tablets, from your iPhones. You can submit, upload information as well. And then lastly, as many of you are aware, Accelerus has, over the past number of years, spent a significant amount of time building out its scientific informatics platform for use today predominantly on-premise. But now it is available inside the cloud and available to provide that analytics capability that's going to be required to make informed decisions. If you look today and you talk to customers, and we're going to have Jim Connolly from Sanofi speak in a minute, if you talk to various pharma companies, there's a spectrum of adoption of cloud or even interest in adopting cloud solutions. And I think some companies like Sanofi are much further along in their thinking and their willingness to adopt cloud solutions. And there are other companies who are much more hesitant to do so, are looking at other solutions, opening up a VPN to a partner in China, but want to keep close hold of the data on-prem and are less willing today to adopt the cloud. But again, if you look at what industry analysts are finding as they talk to companies who have adopted the cloud or in process of adopting the cloud, what they find is that as experience with the cloud increases, the benefits associated with the cloud are realized, right? People see that, yes, I can have faster access to this infrastructure. It's easier to manage, right? And those benefits begin to become much more apparent as that experience grows.